Hey y'all, it's Kierstin Elisabeth and welcome back to my channel. If you're extra like me, then you'll enjoy this dramatic double cut crease look that I came up with for New Year's Eve. So stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, I'm adding concealer on my eyes, and that's just going to be a primer to help the eyeshadow stay on longer and to also make sure that the color actually pops. So we want to make sure that we prime our eyes. And for my lid color, I'm going to add this burgundy color from the Morphe 35W palette. Well, not my lid color, but my base color. And then in my crease, which is actually going to be like the cut crease part, I'm adding this black from the Morphe 35W palette as well. And as you can see, I'm using this very detailed crease brush, and you can use a brush that's a little bit more smaller so you can actually get really defined details. But it really didn't matter to me because I was gonna cut my crease with concealer anyway, so you can use a more detailed, more smaller brush if you want to. You can use a crease brush. It's totally up to you and what you're comfortable with. But as you can see, I'm really trying to make sure that I really get that outline of my crease. I want it to be as smooth and as detailed as possible. That's really important. Next, I'm just going to blend that out with this blending brush to make sure that it transitions with my base color on my lid, so it's a really pretty, smooth transition. And blending is key, especially with black, because like I said in one of my other videos, black is unforgiving, so you really want to make sure you blend it out as much as you can. Okay, so now to sharpen and define that crease a bit more, I'm going to add concealer, and this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Warm Honey, I believe. So I'm just outlining my crease, and then I'm just filling in my whole lid with the concealer. And this part is really strategic, so if you need to move a little slow like I did, this whole look I did everything as careful as possible but just move at your own pace, whatever you're comfortable with. So after you actually cut your crease, you may have to go back and just refine some parts of the crease, with the black eyeshadow a little bit, but that's okay. I just want it to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so yeah. Okay, so now for the fun part. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Tarte Clay Paint Liner in the shade Black, and then I'm going to be using the brush that came with it as well. So I'm just starting out with my wing with the liquid liner, and I'm moving really slow actually, but I actually sped this up just to make it a little bit more enjoyable, because I know you guys didn't want to see me doing eyeliner for a couple minutes, and then this wasn't just regular eyeliner. So to do the negative space, you have to go below the crease a little bit. So I really just took my time because I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to, get eyeliner all over my eye, because, that could have really been a big thing and just messed up everything. So just to make sure everything was in line and as perfect as possible, I just moved really slow. Okay, so as you can see, I've already filled in one of my eyes with this color, but this is Rex from Colourpop, and I'm just going to fill in that blank space that's in between the eyeliner. I didn't want to do the whole lid black. I wanted to add a little dimension, a color, so I chose this color from Colourpop, and I thought it was a really pretty color. And this is just me showing you guys the details. You can see the negative space and everything. And now I'm just cleaning up the wing that I did, so you can just take your concealer and just clean it up to make it look more sharp. And then for highlights, I used LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, as always. And then I blended that out with a damp beauty blender, again, as always. Okay, and to set my highlight, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And here's a thing that I do now. Instead of baking, I just take I'm just showing you guys how I put the powder in, like how I empty it out, but instead of baking, I actually just take the powder on a damp beauty blender and literally just set it in the concealer. Like, I don't necessarily bake and wipe it away because that's wasting product. You don't have to do that. So I just take the product and just push it into my skin, like push it in, like set the concealer with the damp beauty blender, and it works really well. And next, I'm going to be adding these lashes from Ardell. These are the Studio Effects, and these are the Wispy lashes. Okay, now that my lashes are all done, it's time to contour. So I'm going to be using my Chroma Beauty powder in the shade Brunette and just going to contour my face. And then, of course, you gotta snatch the nose. My favorite part of contouring, honestly, is snatching my nose. Gotta snatch my nose. And for bronzer, again, as always, I'm going to be using the Absolute New York bronzer in the shade Dark. And I'm just adding that onto the contour. And then for blush, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm going to use all of the colors. And I didn't want like too heavy of a blush, so I used those light colors instead of like a darker color. And then I'm just adding a black eyeliner, and this is from Lancome. And then I'm just going to smoke that out with a little bit of the black eyeshadow left on that brush, just for a more dramatic effect. And then for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood highlighter. And to make my highlighter pop more, I spray my brush with setting spray, and then I apply the highlighter, so it really makes it pop. And again, snatching the nose and the Cupid's bow. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, something that I forgot to do was my inner corner. So I just took Liberty from Colourpop and I added that to my inner corner just to make the look pop a little bit more. And then for lipstick, I'm using the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in LAX, and this is like my favorite fall burgundy red like ever. I need to get like 2 more of these because this one is almost out, like for real. So that is the look. Although it is very tedious because there's so much detail, it is a really fun look to do, and it shows off your artistry if you're into that type of thing. So, and it's also dramatic and extra if you're extra like me, so you'll be popping on New Year's Eve night. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a happy new year, and as always, stay pretty. Bye y'all.